Everyone, our topic for today's video is all about developing system. Ang subtopic ani try to add semantics, phonology, and syntax. The next slide, please. So, what is developing system? System development is the process of defining, designing, testing, and implementing a new software application or program. It could include the internal development of customized system, the creation of database system, or acquisition of third-party developed software. So what do you mean about system development? So system development is the process defining the So ang purpose gida ni ang system development is the enhancement of the productivity of the organization and the group of people working in that organization. As system development got bigger, there was a need to systemize the process of system development and come up with a set of steps that are required for any system. So, for example of system development, customer relationship management, supply chain management, enterprise resource planning, financial management, feasibility analysis, requirements analysis, software design, and lastly is software coding. The system development life cycle is a conceptual model used in project management that describes the stage involved in an information system development project from an initial feasibility study to maintenance of completed application. So, system development in life cycle apply to technical and non-technical system. So, next slide, please. Hello. Slide.
So let us proceed, no? The first I'm gonna tackle is the analysis stage. So the analysis stage includes gathering all the specific details required for a new system as well as determining the first ideas for prototypes. Furthermore, developers will often create a software requirement specification or SRS document. And the next one is the planning stage. Planning stage, the best tip we can give you is also the called feasibility stage. Is exactly what it sounds like, the phase in which developers will plan for the upcoming project. So they'll be planning for a project. This is the stage they are gonna do it. And the next is the design stage. The design stage is a necessary precursor to the main developer stage. Developers will first outline the details for the overall application, alongside specific aspects such as user interfaces, system interfaces, network requirements, and databases. Fourth one is the development stage. The development stage is the part where developers actually write code and build the application according to the earlier design documents and outline specifications.
The next is testing stage. Building software is a not and the end. Now it must the now it must be tested to make sure that there aren't any bugs and that the end user experience will not negatively be affected at any point. During the testing stage, developers will go over their software with a fine tooth comb, noting any bugs or defects that need to be tracked, fixed, and later restricted. So the next is implementation and integration stage. After testing, the overall design for the software will come together. Different modules or designs will be integrated into the primary source code through developer efforts, usually by leveraging screening environment to detect further errors or defects. The information system will be integrated into its environment and eventually installed. After passing this stage, the software is theoretically ready to market and may be provided to any end user. So the next is maintenance stage. Maintenance stage doesn't end when software reaches the market. Developers must now move into a maintenance mode and begin practicing any activities required to handle issues reported by end users. Furthermore, developers are responsible for implementing any changes that the software might need after development. So the the lastly is role of system analysis. So the system analysis is in some ways an overseer for the entire system. They should be totally aware of the system and all its moving parts and can help guide the project by giving appropriate direction. The system analyst should be an expert in any technical skills required for the project. And the second is a good communicator to help command his or her team to success. The third is a good planner so that development tasks can be carried out on the time at each phase of the development cycle. So the system analysis should have an even mix of interpersonal, technical, management, and analytical skill altogether. So done na. So next is phonology.
Okay, so good morning, everyone. So the first subtopics we have is the phonology. So I know this word phonology is not new to you. So phonology, next slide, please. So what is phonology? The rules that govern the structure, distribution, and sequencing of speech sound patterns. Jamaica.
So, good morning, everyone. So, phonology is a subfield of linguistics that deals with the study of sounds and use in speech within a particular language or languages. So, it focuses on the way sounds functions in a language, including their distinctive features, how they are organized into a sound system, and how they influence meaning. Phonologists examine aspects like phonemes, distinct sound units, phonetic features, sound pattern, and the rules of governing the pronunciation of words in a language.
So, another definition of phonology is the study of phonemes in a language and the rules for their communication. So, a phoneme is the smallest distinctive unit of sound in a language that can change the meaning of a word. So, it's a basic building block of a language sound system. So, we have here an example? Shara, next slide.
So, for example, in English, the word but and that differ by just one sound. P in pat and b in bat. Phonology helps us understand that the change from p to b at the beginning of these words can alter the meaning. So, to further explanation for that, these two sounds are considered distinct phonemes in English because they can change the meaning of a word. Phonology also examines how these phonemes are distributed within the language and how they are affected by their context in words and sentences.
So the next one we have the phoneme. So a phoneme is the smallest unit of sound. So a phoneme is the smallest distinctive unit of sound in a language that can change the meaning of a word. So the study of phonemes and their organization within a language is a fundamental aspect of phonology in linguistics. So for example, so p and b. So pat for p for pat and p for bat. So we have here the initial sound, the p and p. So these are the consonant sound. So when we say phoneme, it is a smallest unit of a sound. So can we identify where is the phoneme here in the word pot and butt? So the phoneme here is the p and p, which is our initial sound. And we have here the second example, the k and k. So k for cat and k for gat. So the initial sound changes resulting in different words. So we have here the initial sound, which is the k and k. So these examples illustrate how a change in a single sound, such as the initial consonant, can create differences in word meaning. So it emphasizing the role of phonemes in language. So in conclusion, phonology is essential for understanding the structure and rules of language sound system. So that's all for the phonology.
So next topic we have the syntax. So next slide please. Syntax is arrangement of the word and phrase to create complete sentence. A syntax a, sen- a sentence typically includes a combination of subject, verb, and other parts of the speech. So for example, for this, the, my explanation about this is all about no syntax. It has an arrangement of the word to create a sentence. Also, it refers to the set of rules that dictate how words and symbols are structured by combination to create a valid sentence or expression in a language, such as English or programming language. It serves that the foundation of clear and meaningful communication. In natural language like English, syntax govern the arrangement of words, phrase, and clause to form grammatical sentence. Next slide, please. So, types of syntax. First, we have next pa today. Simple sentence. Simple sentence. It is a sentence contain a single independent clause which consists of subject, object, and verb. For example, he drove the car. So he is is a subject where in a part of the speech, it's called a pronoun, and drove is saan na siya? Drove is a verb, and car is object, and ang kana siyang dira kay, which is in the part in the grammatical relationship, it's called adjective because nag-explain siya ni car, and that's it. Next slide.
So the next type of syntax is a compound sentence. So when we say compound sentence, it is a sentence that consists of two or more independent clauses joined together by coordinating conjunctions, semicolons, colons, and it is used to combine ideas or thoughts in a clear and concise manners. So we have the examples there. He drew the car and she read the directions. So the word he drove the car is our independent clause. Ang ato ang and sa sentence, it is the coordinate conjunctions, and she read the directions is our dependent clause. Next slides, please. So let's proceed to the complex sentence. So when you say complex sentence, it is a sentence that consists of one independent clause and one or more dependent clauses. The independent clause can stand alone as a complete sentence, but the dependent clause cannot. So complex sentences are used to show a relationships between ideas or to provide additional information. So our example there is he drew the car and she read the directions after leaving the rest stop. So he drove the car is our independent clause. The and there is our coordinate conjunction. The word she read the directions is our independent clause. After there is our subordinating conjunctions, and leaving the rest stop is our independent clause. Next slide, please.
Part. Please go balik sa syntax na part. So, in summary, syntax is a fundamental concept in a language and programming, providing the rules and necessary to effective communication and code develop. Understanding and how following the syntax of a particular language is a crucial conveying meaning and ensuring the correct functioning of both human and computer system. That's all about syntax.
So to add on, wait sa nasa ko i-add sa syntax. So to add on, syntax is a crucial aspect of linguistics that explores how words and phrases are convey meaning in a language. It helps linguistics to understand the rules and pattern information and the diverse ways to achieve languages. Okay, that's all.
And now, let's have the topic semantics. So, semantics is the branch of linguistics and philosophy concerned with the meaning of words, phrases, sentences, and larger units of language. It deals with how words and symbols are used to convey meaning and communication. Semantics is a fundamental field within linguistics and plays a crucial role in understanding how language functions are as a communication system. It is also relevant in philosophy cognitive science, natural language processing or NLP, and various other disciplines where the study of meaning and communication is essential. So, so semantics is the study of meaning of language, words, and symbols. It examines how language is used to convey meaning and how meanings of words and phrases can change depending on context, culture, and other factors. This includes the analysis of words' meanings, sentence structures, and relationships between words and phrases. Semantics is a branch of linguistics that is essential in fields like computational linguistics, language acquisition, and natural language processing. Next slide, please. So we have here the three sub-branches of semantics. First, the formal semantics, the lexical semantics, and conceptual semantics. So formal semantics studies the logical aspects of meaning such as sense, reference, implication, and logical form. So formal semantics is a linguistic branch that uses math models to analyze the meanings of linguistic expression. Based on logic, set theory, and computer science, it aims to create a precise framework for parsing the meanings of natural language. By creating a rigorous system, it could help us understand how we use language to communicate thoughts, ideas, and emotions. Formal semantics is widely applied in various fields such as artificial intelligence, natural language processing, and computational linguistics. So lexical semantics studies words, meanings, and words relation. So the lexical semantics is a branch of linguistics that is focuses on the study of the meaning of words and the relationships between them. So kung ang formal semantics kay nag-analyze the meaning sa mga linguistic expressions, here sa lexical semantics kay nag-focus sa pag-study sa meaning of words and the relationships between them. It examines how individual words and their meanings contribute to the meaning of larger phrases and sentences. Lexical semantics investigates the various aspects of meaning, including polysemy, or the existence of multiple meanings for a word, the homonymy, when two different words have the same form, and synonymy, when two different words have similar meanings. By analyzing word meanings and context, lexical semantics provides a deeper understanding of the nuances of language and how words are used to convey meanings. It plays an important role in fields such as computational linguistics, natural language processing, and machine translation. So the third one is the conceptual semantics. So conceptual semantics studies the cognitive structure of meaning. So conceptual semantics is another branch of linguistics that studies the connection between language and thought processes. This approach to semantics assumes that meaning arises from the conceptual structures in the mind of the speaker who uses language. Therefore, it focuses on how we use language to express and communicate our thoughts and ideas. This includes looking at the rules of context, cultural background, and social norms in shaping our interpretation of language. In essence, conceptual semantics is an attempt to understand how our understanding of the world shapes our use of language and vice versa. For the next one is the branches and examples. We have Miss Shara Caballero.
So, good morning, everyone. We have here eight branches of semantics. So, these branches of semantics demonstrate the diverse areas of interest and focus within the larger field of semantics. First, we have lexical semantics. So, lexical semantics study it is the study of the meaning of individual words and their relationships with other words. This branch aims to create lexical. So It explores how words represent concepts and how they relate to other words in terms of synonymy, antonymy, polysemy, and other lexical relationships. Next, we have structural semantics. Structural semantics, it is the study of how words are organized and combined to form meaningful phrases and sentences. So this branch of semantics investigates how the arrangement of words and phrases within a sentence influences the interpretation of that sentence. Next, we have pragmatics. So, pragmatics is the study of how language is used in context and how speakers convey meanings beyond the literal meaning of words and sentences. So, pragmatics addresses issues like implicature, speech acts, conversational implicature, and the interpretation of indirect speech. Fourth, we have cognitive semantics. So, cognitive semantics is the study of how the meaning is constructed in the mind and how it is related to other cognitive processes such as perception and memory. Next, we have computational semantics. Computational semantics, it is the study of how machines can effectively represent and understand language meanings. So, computational semantics is concerned with the study of how computers use computational techniques to understand and represent the meaning of the text. Next, we have discourse semantics. Discourse semantics, it is the study of how meanings change over discourse and how this affects the interpretation of language. So, discourse semantics explores how meaning is constructed at the level of discourse, which encompasses multiple sentences and the coherence of a text. It investigates how meanings contribute to the overall meaning of a discourse. Next, we have cross linguistic semantics. Cross linguistic semantics, it is the comparison of the meanings of words and structures across different languages. So this subfield focuses on comparing the semantics of different languages. It seeks to identify universal semantic concepts and structures with highlighting language specific variations and idiosyncrasies. Next, we have historical semantics. Historical semantics, it is the study of how word meanings change over time and how they are influenced by social, cultural, and historical factors. Historical semantics is concerned with the evolution of evolution and change of word meanings over time. It explores how words and their meanings shift, adapt, or undergo semantic extension or narrowing through historical processes. So next, here we have example. Here are some examples of semantics as as a focus on the study of word meanings. First, we have polysemy. Polysemy, words can have multiple meanings depending on the context in which they are used. For example, the word bank can refer to a financial institution or the ocean, a river, or a slope or incline. So, mao na ang polysemy. Next is homophony. Words that sound the same but have different meanings are called homophones. Examples include to or to and to or there. I know. So example kay to like to I like TWO or TOO or TO. Another example is there, and there. So there nga THEIR and there nga THER and there nga THEY apostrophe RE. On a homophony. Another one is synonyms. So synonyms and antonyms. So synonyms is a word that has the same or similar meaning as another word. For example, happy and joyful are synonyms. So another is antonyms. Antonyms is a word that has opposite meaning of another word. For example, ang opposite sa hot is cold. Muna siyang antonyms. So next is denotation and connotation. Denotation, its literal or dictionary meaning, while connotation refers to the emotions, values, or cultural associations that it may evoke. For example, the denotation of the word snake is a long, legless reptile, but the connotation could be negative, associated with fear or danger. Muna ang denotation and connotation. Let's move on to semantic fields. So, semantic fields is words that are related in meaning can be grouped into semantic fields. For example, words related to weather include sunny, rainy, windy, and cloudy. Mga ang semantic fields. Next one is indirect speech acts. Sometimes the meaning of a sentence is not a direct representation of its literal meaning. This is often called indirect speech acts. For example, saying, "Can you pass the salt?" is "Can you pass the salt?" is not just a request for the salt, but also a polite way of asking someone to pass it. So, these examples demonstrate the complexity and richness of semantics as a field of study focused on word meaning. So, semantics play a crucial role in developing systems, especially in the fields of computer science, linguistics, and artificial intelligence. Semantics refer to the meaning of a program, language, or system, and they are essential for ensuring that a system behaves as intended and that users can effectively interact with it. And that would be all for semantics.
So that's all for today's video. The the main topic is developing system and the subtopic is semantics, phonology, and syntax. That's all for today, and thank you for all